So you may not be aware of this particular scenario, but there is something happening in the ecclesiastical political scene in the church, especially in the Catholic context. There is a growing trend towards sort of traditional Catholicism. If you are very familiar in the digital world, you would see there is a growing or increasing number of young people attracted to traditional Catholicism, very much reverence, young people using veils when they come up for communion. They may kneel and they would love to receive communion in tongues. And then there is a growing, increasing number of people who are attracted to devotions, piety. In some sense, those things we may have lost. Some very rich, beautiful tradition we may have lost in the past, slowly coming back. And there is some sort of attraction to that, especially among the Gen Z crowd. And to me, I am not saying this as to evaluate any of it, but just to really observe and see what is happening in our churches. Now, this could be this growing, increasing desire for some sort of ritual, rigid, proper, disciplined, ordered, regulated, sort of very curated sense of piety and prayer style, could be a reaction to what happened, maybe some sort of relaxation about the whole church scene. We are all friends, God and me, buddy, we walk in hand. Church, it's all about community. We don't have to worry too much about what happens in the altar. Church is like, we'll get together, let's have a cup of tea. Mass, we will quickly say Mass, we'll finish with it, and then we can have a yarn, a cup of tea and biscuit. So this particular group of people, they may be reacting to a time where everything was rigid, and they want to make it a bit more open and inviting, and it was more about community than about going to heaven. Now, that time, people are getting sick of it, now we want more of heaven, we want more incensing, more smoke in the church, more rosaries, more prayer, let's bring back the communion rail, all those things. So it's almost like cyclical. One thing appears as a reaction to the other thing. Are we really progressing? I am not sure. But let's look at today's reading and see how to bring both together. How to bring both together. And the first word of the prayer Jesus teaches us, gives us the clue to it. What is the first line Jesus teaches the disciples to pray? Father, may your name held holy. And in this we have the answer to the tension between the traditionalist and the so-called progressivist. Father, may your name be held holy. What is Father? It is a relational term. Father is a relational term. As soon as I called a mystery, something so bigger than me, with a relational term, it just breaks the walls. As soon as I call God, who is up in the smoke, who is so mysterious, as soon as I call him Father, then the relationship changes. There is an intimacy. There is an attachment. It's almost like I can touch, I can be around, I can playfully be around my Father. But the next sentence is also very profound. May your name be held holy. That my sense of intimacy and relation does not reduce our relationship into something very casual, but rather, you are my Father. The freedom you gave me, I don't reduce it into casualness, but rather it becomes a respect, a reverend. I love you but I do not know you fully because there is a mystery in you, and I respect the mystery in you. But at the same time, I love when you let me call yourself as Father, allows me into your mystery. And that is why a theologian, Rudolf Otto, once said, Mysterium tremendum et fascinas. Mysterium, it is a mystery, God. It is tremendum. In front of that mystery, we shake with awe and fear because He is our God. But yet, fascinas. It attracts. God is a mystery, yet it attracts. It attracts. From my counseling psychology background, I would say there are three ways we approach God. One in a very anxious way. The anxious way is like this. We want to change God. We want to cry and pray and emotionally attach to God in such a way our emotions, our clinginess, our anxiety should change God to work for me. That is a spiritual convenience style. That is emotional spirituality. Then there is another way, very avoidantly relating to God. I am not vulnerable. I am very avoidant to God. I am self-reliant. I can always do everything by myself. But God, if you wish, you don't have anything else, you can help me, And then there is a secure way of dealing with God, that I can relate with God. I can be a son or a daughter in front of a God who to me may be a father, maybe a mother. In that presence, I am so at home with God. But at the same time, it allows me to accept, like Abraham in our first reading, not only to bargain. Abraham was an Indian in our first reading, bargaining. Can I get it for $10? How about $8? Can you give it me for $5? $5, please. Now, Abraham, in the first reading, we see he has this attachment to God, to negotiate, to walk into His presence and bargain as like a friend bargaining with another friend. But at the same time, he uses words like, God, I am only dust. I don't know your will, but can I ask you? See, that is what Jesus teaches. Father, may your name be held holy. In our church, we don't go back to traditional piety, judgmentalist, self-righteous Catholicism. At the same time, we don't want to reduce our communion, our mysterious life into something very casual where we don't have any room for mystery. But we want to bring Jesus back into church where He teaches us, Father, may your name be held holy in my life. Father, I am so attached to you, but the mystery of you make you really in awe, in respect to who you are in my life. Give me the daily bread. Sustain me in my life. Father, may your name be held holy in my life. Amen.